We are inundated by messages, emails, texts, conversations, podcasts, social media posts, phone calls. They arrive constantly, each one carrying information from one person or system to another. Some of them are necessary, a few are important. Most of them feel like background noise, words we absorb without much thought. Or at least that's what we tell ourselves. Because the truth is, no message is received without impact. A compliment can lift us instantly, an insult can deflate us just as quickly. Whether we want to admit it or not, the information we take into ourselves each day shapes what we believe, how we act, and how we feel. And right now, we live in a world where messages have almost no guardrails. Words are used as weapons, politically, socially, culturally, so often, in fact, that many of us have grown numb to them. We tolerate more, we absorb more, we normalize more, sometimes to the point where we're not sure what's humane anymore. Weaponized language has become an art form, and still, we listen, we ingest, we adapt. I'm reminded of something I hear every Sunday: guard your hearts and your minds. I've heard those words my entire life. So often, in fact, that for years I stopped really hearing them. But those aren't just platitudes, they're guidance, a message meant to protect us, not just spiritually, but humanly. Welcome back. Today, I want to talk about the messages we receive, the ones we convey, and the ones we don't realize we're sending at all. With ADHD, the messages I receive each day don't all land the same way. If something ranks high in urgency, a bill, a deadline, an immediate problem, it gets my attention, sometimes at the cost of everything else. But if a message contains something intriguing, connective, or meaningful, something that links to a pattern or idea already living in my mind, it climbs in importance. Those messages stay with me. I turn them over and over, studying them like a puzzle box, pulling at the edges until something unlocks. This is one of the ways my brain works best, through connection, not priority lists. And lately, the messages I've been receiving from friends, family, and even people from my past have been exactly like that. Since I started speaking openly about ADHD-related demoralization, something unexpected has happened. People have started reaching out, not with surface level encouragement, but with honesty. They've shared their fears, their confusion, their shame, their relief at finally seeing themselves reflected in words. Each message has helped unlock another piece of my own story. Each one has offered me the chance to see my experiences through someone else's eyes. And I want to add this: the honor I feel when someone trusts me with their most tender thoughts is enormous. For most of my life, I built walls that kept that kind of vulnerability at a distance. But dismantling those walls, word by word, has shown me something I didn't expect. I'm not just not alone, I'm surrounded. Throughout the day, I'll often remember something someone shared with me recently, a struggle they're navigating, a realization they've had, and I'll think, I should check in on them. Historically, I haven't been great at that. Not because I don't care, not because I don't want to, but because checking in often leads to deeper connection. And deeper connection means the possibility of being seen, of having to lower my guard, of being exposed. That fear has shaped a lot of relationships. And yet something is shifting. A favorite cousin, a former love, a talented coworker from long ago, each has trusted me with their truth recently. And I can see now that removing my mask gave them permission to remove theirs. The realization that their struggles weren't isolated, that their shame wasn't personal failure, has created a kind of energy in me that's hard to describe. A momentum that feels bigger than me. It feels communal. There's another message I've been turning over in my mind, one that's much closer to home. Every weekday morning, I ask my daughter the same question. Did you take your medicine? She has ADHD too. We've tried different medications, different dosages, trying to find what supports her best in a world that demands focus and follow through in very specific ways. She attends a classical school, one we chose long before we had language for neurodivergence. I remember leaving the tour with a single thought. This is how I wish I had been educated. Subjects woven together, conversation instead of lecture, understanding instead of memorization. It's a place where she's supported, not managed. And even so, I worry. I worry about the years ahead, about standardized testing, about systems that want black and white answers for minds that think in color. Because for neurodivergent brains, a simple question doesn't stay simple. It expands, it branches, it becomes a pop up book when the system only wants a flat page. And that mismatch, being misunderstood, being misinterpreted, is exactly what leads to ADHD-related demoralization. I do not want that for her. But here's the moment that stopped me. I realized that every time I ask that question, did you take your medicine? I'm also sending another message. You are not enough as you are to exist in this world. Your brain needs to be altered to belong. That thought hit me like a tidal wave. It made me sad. It made me angry. And it forced me to confront something uncomfortable. Our world rewards conformity. It rewards sameness. Neurodivergent minds are every color in the crayon box, but we live in a system that only values beige. So I keep asking myself, how do we make room for the pop-up books? How do we create systems that value connection over compliance? How do we send better messages to our children, to ourselves, to each other? Love him or hate him, someone like Elon Musk is a clear example of what happens when a different mind is allowed to build instead of conform. Electric cars, space exploration, global communication systems. That kind of innovation doesn't come from linear thinking. And that's what I want for my daughter, for your children, for all of us. To understand the world, not hold it at arm's length. To participate in it fully, differently, honestly. Our messages matter. The ones we absorb, the ones we repeat, the ones we unknowingly pass on. And the more we become conscious of them, the less future generations will feel the need to hide who they are. I don't have this figured out yet, but I'm still learning what to hold, what to release, and what to rewrite. But I know this: words shape worlds, and I want to be more careful with the ones I carry and the ones I give. I'll be back next time. Until then, give yourself grace. You've been listening to Demoralized with Molly Kellogg-Schmauch.